friends, this is the instructional video for independent practice. So here's where we're going to start circling back to the do now. So since 80% of my success is only from 20% of my effort, it's really only like 3.5 hours a day. So you're going to fill out the graphic organizer to help you start thinking of your schedule and make sure you think about how you can make time to do something you enjoy. Like think about the things that have tripped you up from studying, and being on task. You got to make time for those because you're going to want them anyway. And you need to set aside like serious focus time as well. Okay, so when I say leisure, what I mean is like things you're doing for yourself. And that could be a range of things. Everyone kind of has their different hobbies and things they like to do. When I talk about work, these are all of your commitments, and they don't have to just be school commitments. They can also be like other work commitments that you might have around the house. So we're going to take a look at the exemplar. If you, I'm not sure how to start. So the idea here is that we want to find times in the day where we're very focused and use those times to really like hone in on school. And if you like do the schedule and the block times and you're able to attend class, like great. My schedule, I made it a little different because I wanted to show what it might look like if, for example, you have other responsibilities like taking care of siblings or whatever. So I did an 8 to midnight, but please feel free to change these times. Like I'm actually a very early morning person, so I get up at 5, so I could change the times on there if that works for you. Or if you get up later, you can put like 10 a.m. So first thing I'm doing is I'm like taking a walk outside for my house, right? Leisure. Okay, checking in with advising. It's an obligation, it's a commitment, so that's work. Then I make breakfast for my siblings and myself. Okay, and then my mom is at work until like 1, so I gotta like watch my siblings. So that's a commitment that I have. That's work. Okay. Then around 1 thing I identified as like a habit that makes it hard for me to do anything is I love being on my phone. So I need to make time for that. So I just watch my siblings. You know, I'm going to take a break in between, give myself like an hour to play on my phone. And then I'm going to do like 2 hours of work where I just focus straight on that. Then I'm going to chill out and watch TV. Then we have dinner, help clean up. And I finish the last of my schoolwork at 8 p.m. because my siblings are in bed at that time, my parents are doing whatever, and like no one interrupts me. So that's a good time for me to like get the last bit of it done. Then maybe I'm gonna text my friends. Maybe then I like to like get on the internet. Maybe I'm a person who stays up late and plays video games. The goal here is like the habits that you saw. You can see that those still take up most of the day. And like here's a little secret for you. Like you really only need to sit and focus for a couple of hours. And part of the reason I want you guys to practice this as well and like try to get an idea of what you do every day, make sure you have time to do that, is because this will be great for when we are back in school next year and you have that free time between 3 and like whenever you go to bed. If you find that you're just like putting 1 hour of work in and then the rest of your time is your time, you can still be successful in school, you can still be productive, you can still do the things that you want to. The key here is like carving out that time specifically for focus time. And like making a commitment, be like, all right, I'm in the mindset of from 2 to 3, I'm gonna just do schoolwork. You're more likely to stick to it that way as well. So use the exemplar if you get stuck. Feel free to change the times if you'd like. Make sure you're labeling it. Leisure is things you're doing for yourself. Work are your commitments. And then the mastery check, which is your last part, we're going to start doing this on a weekly basis. And if you're curious, I actually built this off of my Panda planner. It's a brand of planner. And I've used a lot of planners, like a lot. I usually don't like them because they don't think they set up the way that I want them to be set up. So this one, however, though, has a lot of reflection questions. And I think that that's super important for you to to like think about like how are you looking at your measurable goals? Like how are you keeping track of what you're doing? Like are you making changes? And doing this on a weekly basis helps with that. So this is something we're going to start doing every week until the end of school. So you're first going to put like day and date. So put the week range. So what I mean by the week range is like this week would have been April, like depending if you started on the Monday, is like April 27th to May 3rd. Okay. So I would put that in here. Okay. The next thing is reflections. Now, we didn't do this last week, but you have had a tracker and you kept track of things that you've done in the past. So things that you're going to improve on. So these can come from like your measurable goals, from your SMART goals in a previous module that we did. So for example, like how I'm going to improve this week, I know that I got caught up watching YouTube all the time because my friends would send it to me in the links when I was like working. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to watch it after I finish, and I'm going to like fully focus on one thing at a time. So when I'm like engaged with my friends, I'm engaged with my friends. When I'm engaged in my schoolwork, I'm engaged in my schoolwork, and I'm not doing anything else. Then another thing too is like just an opportunity to practice gratitude. I know this is a very hard time for everyone. This is also why I really like the Panda planners, is because they give an opportunity to like practice that gratitude. So things I'm looking forward to, like, oh, I can't wait to video chat with my best friend Alex, or I like can't wait to beat my high score on this video game, or whatever you're looking for. Like, I really can't wait till my mom makes my favorite meal tonight. It really doesn't have to be anything specific, just what you're excited about. And then another reflection is habits you're focusing on. So these can come again directly from your like SMART goals. So stop procrastinating on social media during work time, and maybe like keeping a daily to-do list. So look back at your previous modules, what your SMART goals were, like specific, measurable, attainable. Yeah, I can't remember the rest of the acronym off the top of my head, but go back and look at that and use that to influence what you write here for how you're going to improve and things you're going to focus on. So at the end of each week, you're going to write these reflections, thinking about the previous week. Okay. So then we're going to put in just the same schedule that I put into my other exemplar. You can certainly copy and paste if that's easier for you. And so then when we look at this again next week, we can be like, okay, like how am I going to improve? Well, I didn't really stick to my schedule. This and this happened, or this stopped me. How am I going to improve that? I'm going to do this one thing. I'm going to change this one thing. And I like to focus on like big wins and like things I'm looking forward to, having more of those than things that I'm working on. You know, got to have that balance. And really, when it comes to like improving your habits, it's always just one thing at a time. All right, if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.